that. But I've asked repetitively for God to show us, give us wisdom, what words will be not just the generic patent things, open cries, we all know that. What can they grab a hold of that won't shut the door in their minds and hearts?
Well, the first thing I would say is that you have done the biggest part already. The biggest part is to agree to God. That is the biggest part. I can think is 90% of what you actually need to do to agree. Mm-hmm. The one who ministered to me, they were 10. They agreed to come to me when they had the prophecy to come to me. Before they reached my house, he was only one. As they asked people, where is General Botnicki? They respond, they get from people, make them to run away. 5 left, say, no, we can go. 3 left, we can go. The last one, he quoted scripture, out of the mouth of 2 or 3, the matter is established, so we can go. And he still decided to go. And on the street, Ken Johnson Road, that I was assigned, my soldiers are all on the road. My house, the house I seized, I was living in, was 3-story. Mm-hmm. The down floor was for my boys, where they live. The middle floor is for me and my coven, my shrine. Mm-hmm. No, I stay there and do consults with spirits. The 3rd floor is where we do slaughters and all those things. But from the ground floor to the 3rd floor, boys are landed all on the step. Mm-hmm. And the pastor walked on that street, came to my house, knocked at my door, and none of the boys saw him. Mm-hmm. I killed one of them, one of the boys. If you watch the documentary, there's a young man called Senegalese. Mm-hmm. I shot in his 2 legs. He lost his 2 legs. Because I feel that they let him in. When they told me that they didn't see him, I felt their response was crazy. And God made him invisible in the eyes of everyone. Mm-hmm. Only because he agreed to come and reach me. This is what I always told people, and it's the truth. Sister, believe me.
I believe you.
No matter how gigantic the devil is, if he tell you to bow and you refuse, he could come, bow, and you say no. Bow, and you say no. And he come as close to touch you between your hands and his hands, as thin as a paper. He can't touch you, because if he do, he breaks the Lord, and God will intervene right away. Mm-hmm. God created us and placed in us a will. If God had interest in controlling our will, none of us will worship the devil. Mm-hmm. So he refused for the devil to tamper with our will. So if the devil says, do this, and you say no, the devil cannot force you to do it. Mm-hmm. And if God asks you to do this, and you say no, God will not also force you to do it. And so if you decide that God, deep calleth unto the deep, I want to reach the deep, or he asks you to reach the deep, and you agree, you have almost everything you need. What to say, the strategy, and everything are almost natural. They are almost beyond your understanding. Mm-hmm. You would think you say, give me the toothpick, and they would think they heard, I love you with all of my life. Mm-hmm. You could say something else, and God would make them to understand it another way. Mm-hmm. So the decision to accept going into the deep basically is almost all you need. Mm-hmm. Others have, principle and think. In the witchcraft, the enemy projects a lot of fear in people. Mm-hmm. And so when they see you as harmless, tender, coming there, they're afraid. What are they depending on? So fear already grabbed them. They see you. It's like when you follow the war of Liberia to some extent.
Alive.
Prince Johnson went in the barrack to do after killing thousands of crown people. He walked in the barrack armless. Every one of us said, "Let's kill him." Others said, "No, what he want? How could he come? And how did he come? Why did he come? Is he having something in the air to blast us when we touch him?" And everybody were panicked. He came, he did what he wanted to do, display his confidence, and left. So, you from a different culture, from a different environment, you come to Monrovia, you cross the big hotel up Mama Point, even to come in this community, to come and stay here, is already a deep. It's already a deep. I know other people, they're not bad, but they're not as strong and brave as you are. So they want to see me, and they even invite me to Palm Spring Hotel, invite me to where they stay, you know, not because they're bad, but they want to offer, but what they could offer is that much. And you have crossed the bound to even come here, going into Cape Mount, going into the communities, is already, I think it's already all you need. Yes. So you're going there projects to them confidence. So they say, whatever this people depend on to come here, we dare not touch them. And so say he project fear to them. Your confidence that you display give them the hope that they can break out. Because they do not know, he keeps them in the dark. And when they see that you go there and the devil cannot harm you, then they say, wow, but then I think these people have more protection than me. How could they come in this camp and they are not harmed? And so it gave them the hope to wanting, you know, to consider what you have. That's what attracted me. I go to war front, 2,000 men do me nothing, 1,000 men do me nothing, and 18 men inviting me in the fellowship on Ken Johnson Road, and the demon I worship is telling me, don't go, they are wicked, they will harm you. Then I started thinking, I said, if this guy can lead me against 2,000 men, 1,000 men, just 18 men, how come? And they are not even in their territory, they are in my territory, and he's afraid of them. So it made me to think twice. See, but then these guys have power. If they have power that he's afraid of, then I want their power. So the major thing they did to agree to come. He came the first time, came the second time, the third time, there were two. The one who came with him wanted to believe if he actually enters my house. They came with him and they entered my house. According to them, they spoke to the boys. To the boys, they never saw them. Because no one, even my boys are not supposed to enter in my apartment. Because it's a concentrated area. So when they came and knocked, I opened the door, they enter. My boys did not even hear the knocking sign, they didn't hear anything. So I think the greatest thing, the biggest thing they did was to agree to come. And so the fact you agree to come, strategies are powerful. People have a different kind, but psychologically, I'm thinking that if witchcraft or evil, the only thing they do is fear projection, and they see you walk in there, that's huge bravery to them. And then if you walk there and nothing happened to you, it justifies that, well, you are stronger than whatsoever they depend on. So they might be considering, the only thing is you have to be consistent on them. If you go once and come and leave, there should be people on the ground who understand it and is able to make the follow-up. Because when the pastor came the first day, the second day, they didn't stop coming until the 54 days that I gave my life to Christ. Every day they came to my house. Nothing to say, they'll just say, oh, we came to greet you, we're going for fellowship, they'll walk all in my house. And I cannot harm them. I'm just looking at them, why will you come in my house? These guys don't know I'm General Botneke and they are not afraid of me. And and all those things going in my mind. And I could not harm them and I want them to leave, but I cannot harm them. And so constant touch, constant touch, because after some time, if you come and they have to take months before you come back, then he's strengthening himself again in them by different things. He's still strengthening himself in them. But if it is constant, every time, as many as often, I think that's the major thing.
Yeah, we do have follow-up. We partner with ministers that are close by, and then they go in and follow up. We've been to the Bai people up near the Guinea border also several different times, and had one of their gods all dressed up, dance for us and that whole thing. But so, we're trying to reach those really dark. So if any context you have too of where it's needed. Earlier years we were going to the Christian orphanages, and then that's not what we're called to do. It's great encouragement, but we're called to go evangelize and share Christ and to come back. I mean, our first trip here, we visited with Christine Tolbert.
Okay.
And so she's a good friend. And the most pertinent thing that she ever gave to me was a book of her parents. And in it she wrote, "Please come back."
Amen.
And that was, I shared this with all the teams, that meant so much. So many people come, they can check that off their "boy was I good" list, right? And they go home. And that's not our mission. And as I get older, it's harder, but as it's harder, it's more impactful. Amen. So any guidance from you being down that road, I mean, God's already proved to us that we are where we're to be. Many times we should have been harmed, if not dead, for many different things that in a miraculous way didn't happen. So I would sure love for us to stay in touch and, give us those dark places to go to. Help you.
Actually, since 2007, along my appeal to the community, I also help the guys, the ex-combatant.
Right.
Yes, we are now building. We started a farm already in Sino, and 52 hectares. Some friends blessed us with a 40-foot container that have tractors, power saws, and all those things. So we're trying to build a home in Sino where we host 480 of the guys. We normally host them 50-50 in a rented home. But one day I was seated and said, well, I don't think I need luxury to save souls, to help someone. So I started thinking about the eco-friendly construction that is more cheaper. So I went to South Africa and learned how to use the bricks. So I brought down a mold that I've been using to build homes, which is far cheaper. It's so cheap. You use the natural clay. You don't need cement to knead